So I used to have this friend in about year 3 or something, and she would brag about absolutely everything. She'd brag about having crop tops. She would brag about going out of the country sometimes to like Spain, and she was like, oh, I've been out of the country like 30 times. And she once convinced us that it was £10 to go out of the country, but I believed that because I was 5, so I believed anything she said. When I got to about year 3 or 4, I had enough of her lies, and I knew she was lying. Like, it was so obvious she was lying because I was older, and I decided to get revenge.
My friend Kayla asked Sarah, what does good morning mean in Spanish? And then Sarah looks at us, looks back at her food, and said, I don't know, I'm still taking Spanish lessons. And we just look at her that she doesn't even know what good morning means in Spanish. If she had lived in Spain for 6 years, she would have known what it meant. I don't know how, but that incident has spread around the entire school. Every person that walks past Sarah just says, Buenos dias, basically teasing her about not knowing what good morning means in Spanish. And then Sarah didn't show up to school for 3 days after that. And oh boy, we haven't even gotten to the crazy part. The 3 days pass, and Sarah comes back to school. As soon as she walks into the class, everyone's eyes was on her. She came up, sat in her seat, and this lady showed up to school.
My mother's first language is Spanish, so sometimes when I talk to her in English, she'll forget a word or two, but not a problem. She'll just create new words no one else was brave enough to use. She took my little cousins to the mall once, and this is what she told me when she got back. She was like, it was so cute. I took the kids on one of those, El Horse Tornado or whatever. You know what it is. I'm sorry. El Horse Tornado? I'm gonna need you to elaborate. And she was like, you know what I'm talking about. You put that attitude down, you put it down. I was like, okay, putting it down. Sorry. She said, don't try me. I'll kick your ass. And I was like, you don't need to kick my ass. Just put me in a horse tornado. I'll be terrified. You think you're funny? Mom, how would you act if someone said that to you in Spanish? Tornado de caballos. That sounds horrifying. She was like, okay, that's pretty funny. Merry-go-round, by the way.
One day I was playing Roblox. A few minutes later I met this guy in Adopt Me. We became friends. A little later we started dating. I gave him my number and we started texting. He wanted to FaceTime, but I had to go to my grandma's house. So I told him I would FaceTime him later. Either way, I was a little nervous to FaceTime. Okay, anyways, I got to my grandma's house and decided to bring my laptop cause I still wanted to play Adopt Me with my BF. I noticed that my grandma was on her phone the whole time. She literally never goes on her phone. Like when I went to go say hi to her, she literally slapped me and told me, "Ro, go away." Sorry to say this, but come back for part 2.
Avatar is pretty.
Aw, thanks.
Pretty ugly.
Oh, I'm sorry. I tried making it look like your future.
You failed, thatist.
You failed to teach me.
Learn to take a joke.
Learn to make one.
Well, you ugly.
I'm not your mirror.
Story time about this girl who faked being Latina. So there was this girl who went to my school. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah is the queen of lies. In every subject we talk about, Sarah always, and I mean always, comes up with a lie that has to do with her life. Here's an example. What if we're talking about Tom Holland? She'd just come in and say, oh yeah, Tom Holland is my dad's friend. I met him once. You know, these types of lies. Another one is when she told everyone she's Latina. It was lunchtime in school, and we were talking about where we went for the summer. Sarah tells us that she went to Spain, and she started telling us on what she did there, and says that she's 50% Latina. She also said that she lived in Spain for 6 years, and if there is any person who lived in Spain for 6 years, they must know how to speak Spanish. And then my friend Kayla asked her, what does good morning mean in Spanish? We all know it's buenos dias. She just